The Terminator Tank Support Combat Vehicle is actively used in the Military Special Operations Zone. Experience with this vehicle shows that it can withstand multiple hits without harm to the crew and its main systems. The concept of a combat vehicle supporting tanks is, without exaggeration, revolutionary in tank building. In terms of its characteristics and the tasks it performs, the Bmpt still has no analogues in the world. However, before it proved itself worthy on the battlefield, the vehicle had to go through a very thorny path. The main task of the Terminator is to protect tanks from fire from anti-tank rocket launchers and anti-tank missile systems, which are used from ambushes and shelters. The Bmpt must detect enemy infantry and then suppress it with a barrage of fire. This tactic proves its effectiveness in combat operations in urban areas or wooded areas. According to the calculations of the creators, the Bmpt should have been most effective with the following tactics. 1 Terminator covers 2 tanks in field conditions, 2 Terminators, 1 tank in urban combat. The Terminator turned out to be a hybrid of sorts. Either a tank with insufficient firepower, or a reinforced infantry fighting vehicle without the ability to transport troops. Therefore, there was plenty of skepticism when the vehicle entered service. Army commanders could not decide for a long time how to integrate the revolutionary new product into long-established military orders. As a result, a contract for the first batch of Terminators was signed with Kazakhstan. The Bmpt began to enter service with the Russian troops only in 2018, and even then in limited quantities. In the Central Military District, the first regular Bmpt company of 9 combat vehicles was introduced into the staff of one of the tank regiments of the Tank Division. The Bmpt also underwent combat testing in Syria, where it proved itself very well, confirming its high operational and combat characteristics. However, the vehicle never became widespread, remaining a misunderstood and not fully recognized example of military equipment. With the start of the special military operation, the Terminators showed themselves in all their glory. Numerous videos of Bmpts literally sweeping away enemy positions with infantry entrenched there with an avalanche of fire, attacking strongholds or covering assault groups with fire prove that the concept of using combat vehicles to support tanks has fully justified itself in high-intensity battles. As reported by the state corporation Rostec, the Bmpt Terminator is currently used in combat operations both in urban conditions and in forest belts and fields. The Terminator is armed with 2 30mm automatic cannons, guided missiles, machine guns and automatic grenade launchers, which allows it to hit several targets simultaneously. In the Special Operations Zone, the Bmpt demonstrates high efficiency not only by covering tanks, but also as an independent assault combat unit, destroying enemy firing points and strongholds. In certain situations, the Bmpt can replace a motorized rifle squad in an attack, which includes a BMP-2M infantry fighting vehicle, rifleman, a machine gunner and grenade launchers, Rostec said. According to experts, the main advantage of the Bmpt is its high level of protection, which surpasses even the protection of main battle tanks. In terms of side protection characteristics, the modern version of the Terminator has surpassed even the T-90 tank due to the shielding of the sides with auxiliary equipment and the installation of built-in dynamic protection along the entire side projection of the hull. In addition, the Ramka fire control system has proven itself to be excellent, allowing simultaneous fire on 4 or 5 targets. A large range of weapons and a large ammunition load enable the Terminator to create a very high density of fire. By the way, the Terminator can effectively destroy not only enemy manpower, armored vehicles and motor vehicles, but also boats, ships and low-flying helicopters. Russia's Bmpt, tank support fighting vehicle, is built on the chassis of the Soviet-era T-72 MBT. The concept behind the vehicle dates back to the Soviet-Afghan War. The USSR's existing infantry vehicles, notably the BMP-1 and BMP-2, struggled in infantry fighting. To rectify this shortcoming, the Chelyabinsk tractor plant began developing a new concept. The resulting BMPT would be deployed alongside the country's battle tanks in urban warfare environments. These capabilities make the Terminator an effective tool for engaging Ukraine's unmanned aerial vehicles. In terms of protective measures, the Terminator is equipped with modular explosive reactive armor and smoke grenade launchers that can create a smokescreen to hide the vehicle from enemy troops. Additionally, the BMPT is fitted with a nuclear, biological and chemical protection system. While the Terminator is certainly more useful to Russian forces than the World War II relics and Soviet-era tanks Moscow has deployed to the front lines, the BMPT is not invincible. Moscow lost its first of these fighting vehicles last February in a precision artillery strike in eastern Ukraine. In August, Ukraine's special forces published footage showing an attack on another Terminator in the country's Donetsk Oblast. According to Kyiv, a swarm of small lethal drones was responsible for the attack. It is not clear, however, whether the BMPT was irreparably damaged. Despite Ukraine's successful assaults against some of Moscow's BMPTs, the Terminator has shown great promise on the front lines.
А сейчас мы уже непосредственно на передовой и нашли Терминатор. Я иду из...